Hello and welcome to Rolling Scissors Learning Avenue. In this video, we'll be dealing with an article which was recently, there were so many articles in the newspaper regarding this topic, vaccine nationalism. So before watching this video, I would request everyone to watch this video, Information War. The link of the video is given below. So in the video of Information War, it shows how the information about how the coronavirus was tackled in China and how did China delayed the process of making it to the public, and how did WHO mismanaged, and how it affected the whole world, and how did United States of America got affected, and what are the series of steps taken by the various governments of different countries. So all sort of things are mentioned in this video, Information War. Now, so in order to tell you the meaning of vaccine nationalism, we'll discuss how from the very origin. Okay, so take an example. This is a map of China. So as we all know, the COVID virus was first origin in China, and when it was founded in China, it got expanded. First it was originated in the town called city called Wuhan. Then it got expanded around majority region of China. So at that time, the first outbreak was in November 2019. So China deliberately or purposefully delayed the information to the world. So later, World Health Organization has got information of COVID only around mid-January 2020. So it was very late. So by that time, the virus was already spread among many European countries such as Italy, UK, United Kingdom and USA, United States of America. So when you say about World Health Organization, the World Health Organization is a group of organization found by a group of countries to look after the health conditions and health funding around the world. So generally, United States of America funds it is the largest funding country of World Health Organization. It funds around $23 million. So at that time, United States of America was not in good terms with the World Health Organization, as it didn't take any drastic measures on China due to the delay of COVID virus information and how did it mismanaged. So taking account of all this, when World Health Organization wanted a vaccine for COVID virus for all the people around the world, so United States of America, instead of funding World Health Organization or instead of offering World Health Organization, the country of United States of America offered funding to many other drug pharmaceutical companies. For example, there's a Pfizer, which is an American based company, then Johnson & Johnson again, then there's Novartis and Gilead. These are all Europe based company, and AstraZeneca, which is a UK based pharmaceutical company. So instead, United States of America, instead of funding World Health Organization, it gave the funds directly to these pharmaceutical companies to produce vaccine. So as a result, when these pharmaceutical companies produces the vaccine, they, instead of giving to World Health Organization, they will give it to the United States of America. So this is if it does like that, the COVID virus will be removed from the United States of America. Okay, why? I'll repeat it again. Since the World Health Organization did not have a proper measure or drastic measure put on China, so United States of America did not accept or did not want to stop the funding to World Health Organization, as it did not put any restrictions on China. So instead of giving funds to World Health Organization to develop a vaccine for whole of the countries globally, The United States of America directly gave to the foreign big pharmaceutical companies to produce vaccine for their country only. So when they receive money, after these companies produce the vaccine, they, instead of giving to World Health Organization, they provide the vaccine to United States of America. And as a result, the COVID virus affected in that country will be ruled out. So if series of developed country do like this, for example, if United States of America does like the same thing, and the countries in Europe also does the same thing, that is funding directly to the pharmaceutical companies and taking vaccine only for their country instead of giving to WHO. WHO and WHO should give to in other countries also. So instead of giving to other countries, these country takes vaccine for their own country only. So as a result, what we will find is that the COVID will be ruled out of these developed countries, and the other countries, which is developing or poor countries, will still remain affected by the COVID virus. Okay, so this is what we call as vaccine nationalism. So I'll repeat it again. So the countries, instead of offering WHO its ideas, its scientific technical experts, its funding, instead of offering to WHO, so when they directly offer to these pharmaceutical companies, and these private companies, on the motive of making high profits in their business, when they produce vaccine, they will give to the country which funds them. So the vaccine only goes to the country, those country only which funds the companies, instead of going to the every countries around the world. So WHO remains weakened here. So only the country which is funding, which gets the vaccine, and there the people get treated. So the remaining poor and developing countries who is not funding to the pharmaceutical companies, they remain affected. So this selfish act of taking vaccine for one's Euro country itself, it's called vaccine nationalism. So when we say back in 2019, this is the city of Wuhan where the first outbreak came in between November and December 2019. So after that, there is another phenomenon which is called vaccine development racing. So generally, when you see this picture, these are the various diseases which came up along the years. So we can see that the average time, or the time for the vaccine development, that actually takes many years. For example, polio, it took 47 years, which came in between 1900 to 1910. Chickenpox, the vaccine development took 42 years. Hepatitis B, 16 years. Ebola, which was originated in Africa, it took 43 years for the vaccine to be developed, for the proper vaccine to be developed. And HPV, it took 25 years. Now just see the vaccine of SARS-CoV-2, which is the coronavirus vaccine, it took only 12 to 18 months. So why it is that? Generally, a vaccine takes so many years to be produced, but in the case of coronavirus vaccine, it took only 12 to 18 months. The reason is this, that many countries want to make their country superior than other countries. For example, when Cold War was going on during 1945 to 1990, when Cold War was going on, there were two hegemonies. One is the Soviet Union, of course we call it as USSR, and another is the USA. So they were in a complete, in proxy war between them to show who is superior than others. So they don't do direct war, but indirect war and this psychological soft power war and their ideological warfare. They perform these warfares in order to show that which country is superior. Like the Russia sent their first person to the moon, showing that they have conquered the moon, conquered the space arena. Similarly, US started to producing more weapons, showing that they are conquering the weapon industry. So like that. And in many other countries, for example, Vietnam, Korea, the United States of America and the Soviet Union indirectly support their allies to fight against the other allies. So these are called proxy wars. So at that time, these both countries were trying to show their superior power. Similarly, in the present times, the image of Russia is not going good, the image of China is down, and the image of the United States of America is also down. So in order to re-image their country in a very positive way, in a very superior way around the world, countries are racing, the countries are racing to produce a vaccine as early as possible to make their country more superior. So one of the best example is, recently Russia was in a very race to produce a vaccine called Sputnik 5. So President Vladimir Putin of Russia, he came up with a virus called Sputnik 5, coronavirus vaccine, and he even mentioned that his own family member was tested for these trials. So the question is, Russia approves world's first coronavirus vaccine, but will it be safe to be considered? So according to recent reports, the Russia will give the first batch of vaccines in next year, January 2021. So we have to see the further reports. But again, there are many obstacles like logistical obstacles, ethical obstacles, geopolitical obstacles. So Russia, instead of giving to the country which trades, it should give to the vaccine should be given to the WHO, through which WHO can distribute the vaccine around all and around the world. So if it is done in that way, it will be good. But if Russia only sends the vaccine to the country which funds them, then again there is an ethical problem which involves vaccine nationalism. So these logistical, ethical and geopolitics problems needs to be accessed. On the matter of this, Albert Einstein many years ago said such as nationalism is an infantile disease. It is the measles of mankind. This he said many years ago, and still it is relevant. It says that the coronavirus is not actually the disease. The vaccine nationalism, that is a more dangerous disease than the coronavirus, because countries and foreign companies are trying to making profit from the coronavirus disease instead of giving vaccine to every poor countries and every countries, no matter it is developed or developing. So instead of that, the countries that and the companies, their motive is to make profits by distributing these vaccines only to the people, only to the country which is funding them. So it can be quoted as nationalism is an infantile disease. It is more dangerous disease than any other disease. So we have to stop that. So in India, according to recent articles, a VK Paul committee was formed in which a proper vaccine strategy has to be implemented. For example, when a vaccine is developed in India, or when a vaccine is introduced into India from the foreign counterparts, it has to be followed a proper distributive mechanism. Like the first, it has to be administered onto social workers, health workers, then to the very elderly people. After that, it should be administered to comorbid patients, for example, person with having other diseases, for example, diabetic patients, pressure patients, etc., etc. After that, it should be given to the normal people. So that sort of strategy must be followed in India. So it is a very ethical way of putting it, and it will also avoid panic among the people. So vaccine nationalism is one of the important a disease or one of the important phenomena which the world needs to be addressed. Thank you.